Hello, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z here on YouTube documenting my financial journey. Today is the last day of the month of February, and so on the last day of every single month, I wrap up this month's budget and prep for the new one. We're gonna jump right into it. Up top here in the monthly notes, I have my monthly closeout list, and these are the 7 steps I take at the end of every single month to close out that month's budget. I have already completed steps 1 and 2. Off camera, just for the sake of time, I reconciled my on budget and tracking accounts already. So we're gonna go ahead and mark that with a green check mark. So we're gonna move directly to step 3, which is to cover any overspending or move money around as necessary. So I'm going to just expand all of my categories, and I'm going to be looking at this available column and looking for any yellow or red that will signify overspending. No overspending for subscriptions or my bills. Under monthly varied, you can see we do have $5 in overspending. So yesterday, February 27th, 2 days until the end of the month, I was doing so good with my spending in this fun category, hadn't spent anything, and then I caught a glimpse of an online sale and I succumbed and went ahead and bought a kind of big ticket purchase item, which I will put a picture on up here. So we need to cover this overspending. I had been thinking about it for a while, but I didn't have any immediate plans to purchase it, and then it just went on sale, so I decided to go for it, and it was $105, which is $5 over my fun budget. Cover this overspending with the other/miscellaneous category, and then looking down, I don't have any other overspending. So the second part of step 3 is to just move money as I want around. At the end of every month, you have the option for all of your categories, whether you want that money to move forward and roll into the next month and just be available for you to spend next month, or if you want to move that money that you budgeted out of that category and maybe put it towards something else. Longtime viewers will know that I tend to just allow a lot of my categories to roll over, particularly those under monthly varied living. Those just will roll over every month, but we are going to see if I can squeeze maybe just a couple of dollars here and there to move out of these categories and maybe put them down into savings. So I'm going to jump forward to March and look at what my available balances are for these categories in there, and this will kind of help me decide how much I want to move out. The first thing I can do is just completely take out the $65 in gas, because I only ever really want $100 available at the beginning of any month. So in dining out, I have $56.46. I think I just don't want this to get over $50 for any given month. So I'm gonna take out that $6.46, but I'm gonna do that in February. And then same thing with other/miscellaneous. I have $112.47, and I'm gonna move that $12.47 as well. But I'm just gonna go back and do it in February. So we're gonna unbudget $6.46, and we're gonna unbudget $12.47 here. Okay, so my monthly varied is covered. Under donations, I think I'm just gonna move this 102 up to be budgeted as well. Not gonna move any money out of my investments. Under sinking funds, I want all of this to roll over, but I think I just want to move this 1 cent out of my sister's wedding, just because it's just bothering me. I don't know, there's just that 1 cent, and so now that's $876. Okay, taxes. By the end of 2020, I had about $400 in there ready to pay on my taxes just in case I owed. I ended up only needing to owe $63 for 2020. So you can see I have quite a bit of money left over. I'm going to move $300 of this up to be budgeted. So that leaves me with $47.14 in here to do my 2021 taxes. And then finally, we will move this $737 from my Zennial Finance category to be budgeted as well. I'm no longer going to be tracking expenses for this channel or this side hustle, I guess, in my personal budget. I did open a separate checking account and I created a separate budget for this business. Okay, so after I moved all of that money out, that gave me $392.33 in extra money. Longtime viewers can probably guess where this is going. I'm just gonna put it into holding for now. There's only 1 more month left in this quarter, and I'm just going to rebudget all of this holding money out at the end of March. I am starting to plan how I want to distribute this money. I have some plans for how much I maybe want to put into investing, how much I want to put into a wish farm item, and potentially some other things. Okay, so going up to our steps, we have completed step 3. Step 4 is to review spending and savings for the month. So for February, I actually did a mid-month check-in and review. So the link to check out that video if you have not yet already will be up here. I have already reviewed about half of my spending. So we're going to touch on this briefly. I'm going to go to one of my favorite toolkit reports, which is the income breakdown. Here on the left, it shows you all of my income sources, and then on the right, it shows you how that money left my account. In total, I brought in $2,410.45. Now, I do want to say I am still waiting on a couple of dollars in interest from my savings account. So keep in mind, there could be about like $5 max of outstanding income, and that just would all be under interest and cash back. So almost 30% of my income went straight into my investments, and that was split between my Roth IRA and my brokerage for a total of $700. About 16.5% of my income this month went to my household bills to my mom. 10.5% of my income was spent on my sinking funds, and then $193 of that was for my business. So the majority of that $193 was a transfer from my personal checking account to an off-budget business account. So that money is no longer available for me to spend in my personal budget. So I did count that as spending. So I just wanted to clarify that. And like I mentioned before, this is probably going to be the last time you see this line item in my personal budget. 2.5% of my total income was to pay my 2020 taxes. So despite that big $105 purchase, my monthly varied living costs only came out to about 6% of my income for this month. And then finally, giving was about 4% of my net income, which I'm pretty happy about because for a lot of 2020, giving was like 1 to 2%. So it's definitely moving in the right direction. And then finally, this graph also shows the net gain, which is everything that I did not spend from the income that I brought in this month, which was $813.50, roughly 1/3 of my income. So you can see for my total spending, I spent $1,596. So if we exclude my investing category, I actually only spent $896.53 this month, which I am very happy about. If we come over to this homemade spreadsheet, one of my goals for 2021 is to spend $15,000 or less. I talked about this goal in my 2021 goals video, so check that out if you haven't already. And this is just a table I made to help track my progress towards that goal. $15,000 divided by 12 works out to $1,250 a month. So that is always my goal, is to spend less than that, excluding any money sent to investments. I came $353 under my limit of $1,250 for the month. And for 2021, I still have $13,307 left that I can spend for the rest of the year. Now I'm on track to spend under $15,000 for the year. Granted, it's only 2 months in, so this could ebb and flow throughout the year. We have completed step 4, so we're going to do a quick net worth check-in for step 5. I will be doing a more in-depth update and review of my investments for this month in my next video, which will be coming out March 5th. If you're interested more in the numbers and how I'm tracking towards FIRE, I recommend you check that video out. But I am very happy to announce that I did surpass the $50,000 net worth goal. I actually first hit $50,000 net worth in mid-February, and then, as you may or may not know, depending on how good your self-control is at looking at the markets every day, the past week for the markets hasn't been that great. So I was really concerned that at the end of the month I would not actually remain over $50,000. But after getting my last paycheck for the month and actually reconciling all of my tracking accounts, I actually had to reconcile about $500 in investment gains this month because the market was actually doing pretty well, I guess, closer to the beginning of the month. So even though the market stumbled the past week, I still got to reconcile investment gains, and that brought me all the way to $51,035. You can see that it was an increase of $4,057 from January, or an 8.6% increase. Again, I will be going over more in-depth details as well as my savings rate and miscellaneous and passive income report on my January 5th investment deep dive video, so make sure you check that out. Step 5 is complete. Step 6 is to record any money wins for the month. Up here, you can see my only goal was to spend less than $1,250. I did do that. Now I'm going to just take some time to think about any other money wins that happened this month. Oh, I know a big one.
I reached monetization level on YouTube and began earning AdSense revenue.
Now I'm not earning a lot of revenue. For those who are interested, I think I've been monetized now for about 2 weeks, and I currently have earned $35 in AdSense. You have to have $100 in revenue before YouTube will pay you out for it. But reaching monetization was a goal that I had for 2021. So thank you all so much once again for subscribing and watching my videos. And then this wasn't necessarily a goal, but a money win was final money win I'm going to record is that I received several M1 Finance referral bonuses. So thank you all so much for using my link to sign up for M1 Finance. Okay, so finally step 7 is to review next month's budget and keep in mind any events or things that might impact the budget. So for March, okay, for monthly varied living, I might be spending out of my dining out category this month because my sister's bachelorette party is this month, and we're just going to like a paint with a twist place, and then we're gonna get dinner afterwards. So I might charge that dinner purchase to this category, but $50 should be enough to cover it. For gifts this month, one of my friend's birthdays is at the end of the month, so I am going to probably Venmo her like $15. And then, as mentioned, not only is it my sister's bachelorette, but her actual wedding is in March as well. And I have this sister's wedding sinking fund saved up for this very event. It has $876 in there currently, so I will probably be depleting that completely this month, using some of it to pay for her wedding gift, and then the rest of it to help cover the costs of the bachelorette party, like we mentioned before. Moving back up to investments, I'll have my Roth IRA deducted, and then there are 5 Mondays in March, so $250 will be going into my brokerage account, which has already been budgeted for. Okay, and then other than my sister's wedding category, I don't expect to spend much money under my sinking funds, but who knows, something could always come up. Okay, so I think that completes step number 7. So that would mean that I have completed all 7 steps of my end of month wrap up and review. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video and leave me a comment down below. Let me know how February went for you. I actually really liked February. It was a short month. That's what I love about February. It never overstays its welcome. Let me know down below how it went for you. And like I mentioned before, if you are interested in some of my FIRE numbers and my investing, make sure you check out the video coming at the end of this week. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram at @ZannualFinance to stay up to date with everything I have going on. As always, I hope you're staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.